Hello, and welcome to the Lighthouse Brand Builders podcast. I'm Peter Wilkin, and I'm here to help you build differentiated, enduring brands and thriving businesses. It's not really a podcast, it's more a series of strategic insights, stories, and secrets of success from a lifetime's career in advertising, brand consulting, and change management. The thread that binds them is brand-centered management, the trademark brand building process and philosophy I developed with my partners at the brand company over 20 years ago, that's since been embraced by thousands of brand professionals and some of the world's most iconic brands. The 4Ds process and brand DNAs have become well known in brand strategy circles. The focus here is practical advice you can apply straight away to your business. It gives you a glimpse inside the Lighthouse Brand Strategy Academy, our online coaching program, where we aim to democratize effective brand strategy. So come with me, take a step inside the virtual lighthouse. Welcome.
Tell us about your first job and an interesting method you employed to get it.
Okay, so this falls under the category of zigging. It's the opposite of zagging. That basically means taking a different and opposite path from the crowd, swimming against the tide and the current and sometimes the shoal, going against conventional wisdom. That's what zigging is all about, and it's one of the key principles of effective advertising that gets noticed, things that break the patterns of expectation. So these are just a few examples of this. The first one is, getting my first job. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my couple of final years at university. I was young and I always, kind of thought, well, I'd like some money. I'd like the fast car. I'd like that kind of quality of lifestyle. Perhaps I should be a stockbroker, but it never really resonated. And thank goodness I never went down that path. But it wasn't until my final year at university and we started getting into the milk rounds with all of the big companies, and none of them kind of really felt right for me until I walked into a small little advertising agency in Edinburgh called Halls. And it just instantly felt the minute I walked in the door and talked to people that this was my kind of people and my home. It rewarded you for free thinking, for having a tabula rasa approach to developing creative ideas that could be applied to business. There was a business angle to it as well, clearly in terms of selling for advertising. And I left, almost like enlightened, walking on air, thinking that now I've found where I want to go. And it was so much easier to pursue a path when you know where you're going and you've got a vision in your mind of where you want to be. And that vision for me was working at one of the top 10 or 20 London agencies. And there were hundreds of agencies. When I did my research into that, it was a little depressing because there were maybe 20 slots for graduates, and they were all pretty much taken by Oxbridge, that is Oxford or Cambridge first-class honours graduates. And I definitely did not have the academic prowess to be able to compete with that. So I needed another way, and I ended up leaving university and spending another year doing a postgraduate diploma in advertising, which was essentially an exercise in writing a CV to get into one of these big agencies. And I was incredibly fortunate to kind of get an interview with McCann's, which was one of the big top 20 agencies. They were famous for Coca-Cola and Glenlivet, and of course they had the Esso or Exxon campaign, which was running a campaign then, put a tiger in your tank, with the assumption that, Esso petrol kind of gave you a boost in power. As it had happened, I had previously sent out maybe 200 CVs to every agency around in town and received nothing. So I was so fortunate to have actually got an interview with the top guy in the account management department of McCann's, and he'd asked me about brands and what a brand was, and I kind of answered, I think, semi-competently. But when I left, I left and didn't really hear back. So I thought, okay, I need to do something different here. And my girlfriend at the time had given me this soft, kind of cuddly plush toy tiger, whose name was Typewriter, as it happened. Go figure. And I sent him in with a little note pinned to his ear saying, if you want to put a tiger in your think tank, call my master. And I didn't hear anything for a week, and I thought, okay, it didn't work. But then the phone rang, and it was this chap I'd had an interview with, and he instantly recognized my voice, and he said, oh, it's you. Well, you better come in. And he told me when I went in, and they offered me the job on the spot, that the girls in the secretary pool had been pestering him to call the tiger guy. And so he did, and that's how I got my first job. And it's a little bit gimmicky, and I don't know whether it would work in today's world, but it worked for me, and I went in and completely thrived in that advertising environment, and I just couldn't be held back. Loved it. So that's the story of my first job.
I love it. Yeah, see, those differentiating creative, quirky things can make a big difference.
Well, they really can at that time. Also, equally, some people don't like what they see to be, a tricky or a gimmicky way of getting in. But it's so difficult to stand apart from the crowd at the moment. And I feel particularly sorry for the young graduates of today. I mean, I've seen their CVs, and they have to be padded extraordinary overachievers. Half of them, seem to have had to kind of compete in the Olympics for their country. Swum the English Channel faster than anybody else.
In the hobbies category.
In the hobbies category, given back to their communities, generated millions of dollars doing charitable good deeds, on top of all of their academic achievements, which now in the world, they're very bright graduates out there, but the ability to differentiate on academic scores now is diminished because, frankly, honestly, I think everyone gets the top marks. It's nearly always, there are so many people who get, their first class, honors or all their A's at A level or whatever academic measurement is being measured these days. It's no longer differentiating the good from the great. So you need to go even further. And nearly all of the really top jobs are done through now, a personal interview, and that requires a human to human and therefore emotional interpretation of who you are and what you've got to offer. So, I hear horrible stories of, the large recruiting firms basically using automated AI tools to analyze online videos that have been submitted by applicants. And we're in that world, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, I hope we rewind and go back to human to human.
Thank you for listening to the Lighthouse Brand Builders podcast. If you found this helpful and want to know more, please visit my website at peterwilkin.com. That's Wilkin with an E at the end. You'll find more free resources, instructional videos, and links there. If you're a CEO or a business owner looking to build your brand, or a brand strategist looking to level up your skills, check out the CBO Masterclass in the Lighthouse Brand Strategy Academy, where you'll be guided through a comprehensive, stepwise process to develop your unique brand DNA and learn the skills to become a certified Chief Brand Officer. If you have any brand or strategy related questions you'd like answered, you can ask them in the showcase notes below. I'll do my best to address them. Thank you, and see you next time.